Hey everybody, so I am just leaving the office right now. It is currently 3:30 p.m. I haven't eaten all day, so I'm heading home. I'm gonna get something to eat and I'm gonna keep on working because I have not done enough lead generation for the day. Today I'm gonna be talking about why I started my career in real estate and why you should too. So first of all, why real estate? When you're growing up, you have all the time in the world to think about what you want to do for the rest of your life, you know? What career, what you want to focus on, how you want to make money, how you want to make a living. I always knew that I was never going to be a 9-to-5 for the rest of my life type of girl. Never. That is partly because my mom is an entrepreneur. She built her business. She wasn't born into money or rich family. She is an immigrant from Mexico and she literally started with nothing. She was a maid at like a hotel for a couple of years, and then slowly she started getting into the food industry, restaurant industry, by selling like empanadas or like tacos or tortas, burritos outside of like factories so workers could buy her food during their lunch hour. And that's kind of how she started getting the idea of opening a food truck. It was her and my dad initially, and they saved up the funds to open their very first food truck, and they did it right, of course, with all the permits and everything that you need to open a food truck in our city. That was way back the first couple of years when they first got here to the United States. They did really good. I don't want to say it was luck, but it was great timing because way back then, whenever she first started, there were almost no Mexican food trucks at all in our area. She was one of the first ones, which definitely gave her like kind of a head start, kind of like an advantage. So yeah, she has 4 food trucks and a restaurant as of right now. Business is good and I'm proud of her. I am proud of her. Like, she built that empire herself and I admire her. I admire her for it 100%. And she's always told me, you can do anything you want when you grow up, and she is my inspiration. Without her, I would not be here. So anyway, why did I pick real estate? So when I was in high school, my mom told me I should read this book. It's a good book, she said. You'll learn a lot. The book was Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I read it and I loved it. I loved how it talked about the rat race. It literally said everything that I've thought my entire life and put it into words. Exactly. I was reading it, and in it mentions how real estate is like where the money is at. I know that it wasn't talking about, oh, being a real estate agent is where the money's at. I know that they were talking about investing in properties, like flipping, rentals, etc., etc. You know, you want assets, not liabilities. And real estate is an asset. Unless you're actively losing money in a property, which you shouldn't be. If you're smart about it, you won't be. Then you're gonna have an asset and make a lot of money. I went to college for 4 weeks before dropping out. It was community college. I would be doing the homework, I would be doing my assignments, and I would think, you know, I feel like I could be using my time doing anything else to make me money rather than passing these classes that probably won't like end up helping me in the long run. So I dropped out after 4 weeks of college. Did I regret it? Not really at all. I only miss learning because I do love learning. Like, my brain is a sponge, I swear to God, but I love learning. But in real estate, there's so much to learn. So like, there's so much to learn about everything. And I'm simply just learning about real estate now rather than English and history and math. And I got hired like as a temp at like an apartment complex, like in the office, just like filing or whatever. And I did have to take like fair housing courses, and that is kind of where I got more into like, okay, like property management, like real estate, etc., etc. So it was kind of cool, like getting to be behind the scenes of all of that. After a while, they were talking about moving me to part-time, and the apartment complex was super far out. I was like, that drive is not worth it just to be part-time. So I quit. But so I will not lie, I was unemployed for a short while before I started my real estate courses. I took the courses. It was only like 2 to 3 weeks. I passed all like the school final exam, and then I just had to take the state exam, and I passed it on my first try, which I'm really proud of myself for. All I had to do next was find the brokerage. Honestly, I only interviewed with 2 brokerages, McGraw and Keller Williams. I went with Keller Williams because I feel like they had the most to offer with like training the commission, like everything. I really loved it. I loved the environment. So why real estate? That was the question. I know that with being a real estate agent and like being in real estate, the opportunities are endless, and I know that sounds cheesy, but you really do get out what you put in. If you don't do any of the work, any of the lead generation, nothing, you're not gonna get anything out of it. And I've only had one sale so far on the buyer side. It was like a friend's mom who was wanting to buy, and I'm really lucky to have been able to have the opportunity. I will say, like, the first half of the year when I was licensed, I slacked. I did not do any of the work. I was not doing my phone calls. I wasn't touching up with my database. I did some social media content, but it wasn't consistent. It was never consistent. So that 100% is on me. But I do want it to change this year, because this year I do want to sell 10 houses, help 10 families. I want to do the best I can to reach that goal. And honestly, my big why for real estate, first of all, to be my own boss, be able to make my own schedule, work when I want. That was one of the biggest factors for me, is being my own boss and like having my own schedule. The second thing is that you get to that point where you close a lot of units and you're like financially free. Like, financial freedom was one of the key points for me, because I know that if I put in the work and I do the work, I will get the reward. You know, I'm gonna get what I put in, period. So that was one of the big factors as to why I chose real estate. Opportunities are endless, you know, literally financial freedom. I am my own boss. You get out what you put in. If you put in the hard work, you're gonna get the reward. And that's also why I think it's a good idea, like a good career for anybody. For anybody who's willing to put in the work and who's not afraid to talk to people. Because talking to people and conversating with people is a huge part of the job. Humongous part of the job. And at first I was kind of scared. Like, I would be scared to go into like the networking events by myself or introducing myself to new people. I was scared. Like, I can be a very shy person when I'm new to an environment. That's definitely like a big thing. But I've learned to kind of grow out of that and just learn that like everyone's there with the same goal. You know, everyone here is in the same type of business or career that they have to network, and I am too. And that's just how it is. That is why I like real estate. That's why I chose it. And I know that one day I'm going to be very successful. One thing that I know is that if everyone around you believes in you, but you still fail, that's on you. Because there's no way everyone, like your family, your friends, strangers online who reply or comment like in your videos, your content that you make, like, oh, you got this, you look like you're killing it. Then like at the end, you end up like, you know, kind of not doing so well. That might just be on you for not doing the work, which is what I tell myself. Which is why I tell myself I need to do the work. I need to put in the work, put in the hours, do what I need to do, period. And then the sales, the leads will come to me naturally. That's why I like real estate. That's why I chose it. And honestly, I think it'd be a great career for anybody. If you are interested in a real estate career, send me an email saying that you're interested and let me know where you're from, and then we can have a conversation. I'll probably like email you my number so we can talk. But yeah, that's why I like real estate, and that's why it'd be a good career choice for you if you want to be your own boss, financially independent, and just get out what you put in. Thank you for watching.